Welcome, Sojourners. You have found yourself a cozy place here at Sojourners Awake. I'm Jonathan, and this is our production of The Bookish and the Brave. Like you, the Sojourners are on a mission, and we begin in the middle of the action as the Sojourners plan to take the Black Lotus from the Shadow Monastery and fulfill their mission. Lord Basile, their arch-nemesis, is currently stowed away by magical presence inside a bag safely nearby. But Starblood, the elven witch, sits in a meditative and quiet stance very close to the Black Lotus, just waiting for the right time. Vaughn, the monk, would be here. Moments ago, he was thrown into hell by Lord Basile. Will he return? Will the Sojourners claim the Black Lotus? And so for now, our story continues. Father Ragu obeys your command and stands at the doorway. The Black Lotus just 20 feet away and Starblood waiting there patiently.
Well, I guess... Asyndeton, I couldn't help but notice that you hightailed it last time. Are we gonna be able to rely on you in this one? Do you maybe you can get her in like a word battle or something, you know, just start talking to her and having a battle of wits or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Asyndeton clenches his jaw, but he nods. Perhaps she likes jokes. I don't know. We can certainly talk to her and see if we can keep her mind engaged elsewhere. So he steps out into the room.
Asyndeton, you walk towards Starblood. Sterling, where do you send Father Ragu?
I have him kind of waiting, kind of in his ear, and as soon as he sees an opening, he'll be when he'd say, "Now go." And on his other eye, he's keeping an eye on Asyndeton, so if he needs to pull him out, or give him a helping hand.
Yeah, and Asyndeton goes around her so that he's on the far side of her. Basically, if she looks at him, she'll be looking away from the lotus. And he says, "What do witches put on their bagels?" Scream cheese. I don't know any other good jokes. But I couldn't help but notice you sitting here. What are you doing?
Waiting.
Waiting for what?
For the right person to come along.
If you're looking for eligible bachelors, I think you're in the wrong place. A monastery is not a good place for that.
Oh, I am a one-man woman. He should be returning any time.
He who?
She opens a eye towards you.
He looks at her straight.
He'll be back.
Will he?
In due time. For that is all we have. And eventually, we'll have the lotus. She stands up, tall elven woman before you now. You see the resemblance of Sylvia in her face. Where do you come from? What mission have you been sent on? I can tell. You want nothing to do with this flower.
I am here to accompany my friends. And he gestures over to the bookends.
Yes. That is why you are here. For your friends. That is the game you are playing. So, why would you be talking to me then? For your friends, right?
I merely want to know why you're sitting here.
You have your answer. I'm waiting.
Well, it looks like you'll be waiting a while longer.
Have you ever been told your terrible conversation? She sits down.
I think when she would have stood up and paid more attention to him was when Sterling would have said, "Go, go, go, go."
Father Ragu moves towards the Black Lotus. He looks back at you. Sterling, waiting for affirmation.
Gives 2 thumbs up, finger guns. Like, you got this. Got it, buddy.
Father Ragu reaches in, grabs the Black Lotus, and pulls it out. I need Asyndeton, Starblood, and Father Ragu to make a Dexterity 20 saving throw.
Ooh. What do you want Ragu to have as a... I mean, he's a corpse.
He got a 5.
Okay, good. You've got him. Good.
Yeah, I got him.
18.
Ooh. Ooh, under. Starblood got a 23, so she succeeded. Father Ragu lifts up the flower and you see it diminish. It's a very small little wilt with little roots growing deep inside. The Black Lotus finally within your grasp. Father Lotus turns around and takes 1 step towards you, Sterling, and then gets blasted into 1,000 pieces, sending his arm wrenched from his body, landing at your feet, still clutching the flower. A lightning flash blasts. Asyndeton takes 42 points of force damage.
Ooh.
Starblood takes 22. She instinctively ducks out of the way in time for the flash of light. Asyndeton, you were thrown flat on your back. Hawkins, you feel the bag begin to rumble. 60 minutes has passed.
He's gonna put all 7 foot of gnome on the bag.
Nice.
Make an athletics check. Need to get a 15 or higher.
He's going nowhere.
Guys, what is going on?
It's a natural 20 again.
Whoa!
Yes.
For 20,
Yes.
for 21.
Nice.
Oh no. I'm still poisoned. This is with disadvantage. Okay. It's a 14. 1 shy.
Ugh.
Oh, 15? Okay. Oh, that was too sweet.
Man.
Hawkins, you smash down on top of the bag, holding it in place as it begins to rumble. You feel a hand sprout from the sand, tearing through the bag. You hear a muffled cry of a horrible, agonizing, humiliating sound of Lord Basile reforming from a sand castle back into his body. And then all of a sudden, you diminish back to your gnomish size. And all 3'5" of Hawkins Aurelius Idlehands is sitting on top of Lord Basile as he forms into his full body, wearing a backpack. Lord Basile awakes, rubs the sand out of his eyes. What is going on? Sterling, it is your turn.
So Sterling will call to the monks, "Here's your lotus, get it and go, get it and go." And he'll run over and check on one Mr. Asyndeton, knowing that he caused a pretty big explosion.
The monk takes the Black Lotus and turns and runs away. Sterling, you move towards Asyndeton. He's flat on his back. Asyndeton, it is your turn.
He's just scorched on the floor, feeling every bit of his age as he's there. I'm still up, but I really felt that. Oh, ouch. And so he struggles to his feet.
If Sterling could have reached him, he would have started healing him. It was 30 foot of movement. I'm not sure.
Sterling, you may apply healing to Asyndeton.
He would start with his would start curing his wounds as he starts saying, pour out the, Shalish Shalar, pour out the chalice. And he would heal Asyndeton for 21 points of damage.
Thank you, Master Sterling. I feel much better.
Starblood stands over to you, and then her arms extend out. She sprouts multiple elbows and knees and skitters over towards you like a spider. She picks you up, Asyndeton, and teleports you to the ceiling. And then when you both manifest at the top of the ceiling, she whispers in your ear, "Scream cheese," and then drops you to the ground. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Oh, wait, 17 or higher.
17 on the dot.
All right.
Shoo.
You take 10 points of falling damage as you hit the ground. Starblood, now on the top of the ceiling, channels a eldritch blast towards you, Sterling. A 10 to hit you.
She misses.
Scorches at your feet. She hisses and spits. She looks nothing like her sister Sylvia, but now you can see the family resemblance. Lord Basile stands up and washes the sand off his face, and he looks and sees the monk with the Black Lotus, and he gives pursuit. He's going to make an athletics check. That's a 24. He catches up with the monk, and he wrestles him to the ground, and Lord Basile acquires the Black Lotus. Hawkins, it is your turn.
Is Lord Basile on the ground at this point?
He has got the monk on the ground. His knees are on the ground, but he is ready to stand up and sprint away.
Okay. Hawkins will load in an incendiary tip and take a shot at him with his crossbow. 26 to hit. The bolt itself does 6 damage plus 5 for the superiority die. The next player or the next character that takes an attack against him has advantage.
Basile takes it to the back. Looks back at you, clutches the Black Lotus even tighter.
Extra attack.
Oh gosh.
Another mundane bolt.
Yep. 12 or higher.
Yep, I got it. Rolled a 17.
Okay.
And this is 8 damage. Hawkins yells, "He's getting away!"
He's taken 42 points of damage so far, and he is getting away. Next, it is Sterling's turn.
So how far away is Lord Basile from Sterling, would you say?
You're 90 feet away from Lord Basile.
That archer will start flickering on his chest again, and he'll send out a guiding bolt towards Lord Basile so that they can at least keep an eye on him, and the next person would have advantage on the attack.
Your guiding bolt has advantage.
Oh, nice. All right, very good. And he gets a 24 to hit.
Oh my gosh.
Plus 10, so he does 26 points of damage with his guiding bolt.
Oh,
Nice.
Lord Basile stands ready to cast a spell and then flickers in this bright light from Sterling. Hawkins, you instinctively drop to the ground as this radiant heat of this beam shoots over your head and smashes into Lord Basile. You hear him crying out, "Father, do not abandon me!" Asyndeton, is your turn.
What is in this room as far as objects?
This is a sanctuary in which the Black Lotus resided. Besides a small decanter full of water and a fountain, there is nothing else.
As I start moving in the I'm going to dash in the direction of Lord Basile. As I near Hawkins, I'm going to yell, "Your skill has never been greater," and you have a bardic inspiration. I'm going to use, I think that'll be it. So running towards Lord Basile, providing a bardic inspiration to Hawkins.
Okay, with Asyndeton turn over, Starblood is going to move She skitters towards you, Hawkins, and then grapples you with both hands and then teleports you up to the ceiling. Make a dexterity saving throw, DC 17.
8.
To fail, you take 8 points of falling damage as you fall to the ground prone. And then she does an Eldritch Blast against you, Asyndeton. A 20 to hit you.
That's a hit.
24 points.
I get struck in the back and slide unconscious for about 5 feet on the stone floor. Smoke rising from my back.
Lord Basile finishes calling out his prayer. Starblood drops Hawkins to the ground and then fires off a bolt, injuring Asyndeton, knocking him unconscious. She looks back and yells, "Go! Don't wait!" Basile reaches out a hand and then sees in his other hand the Black Lotus and smiles. And he casts Plane Shift on himself. Flames of fire lick up around Lord Basile's feet. He smiles and says, "I've done it!" He grabs the Black Lotus close to his chest. Flames lick up around him, and then he disappears in a column of smoke. Hawkins, it is now your turn.
Vaughn will get him. Hawkins gets up from the floor to a knee and aims his crossbow up at the ceiling right above him and takes a shot at Starblood with an incendiary tip.
16 or higher.
That's plenty. 26. I like this die. This D20 is doing great for me tonight. That's 8 damage, and the next attack against her has advantage. The next attacker has advantage.
She screams as the tip lands deep into her skin. Sterling, it is your turn.
Seeing that his main quarry is gone and Asyndeton is down, he would go to his friend's side and attempt to revive him. And he would do a cure wounds as he lays his hands on him. And he, oh gosh, that was terrible. Heals for 6 points of damage.
Asyndeton, it is your turn.
I stand there and I look up at her and I just yell, "You haven't killed me yet, spider witch." And basically I'm only trying to get her to focus on me.
Okay. You take the help action.
Yep. And I, as a bonus action, I then provide Sterling with a bardic inspiration as well.
She uses her thunder step to disappear and appears on the other side of the room. It seems as if she is also trying to escape. She uses the rest of her movement to crawl upon the ceiling towards the exit. Hawkins, it is your turn.
Hawkins is a bit disheartened. He's gonna move toward her and I guess just keep shooting until he can't shoot anymore. He'll load in a low whistle tip that, if successful, if it works correctly, it will trigger, as we've trained together, it will trigger Sterling to take a free movement. It does not work.
She ducks and weaves, and it's more difficult to hit her while she's in this form.
Sterling, yeah, he's, now that he sees the Asyndeton's all right and is breathing again, he turns his attention to the one who brought him back to life, and he will let out one more guiding bolt at her. It's 120 feet range, and attempt to hit with a 22.
It does.
And so he lets out his last ditch effort. Starstone sends out a little extra oomph in front of the 10, so 25 points of damage on her.
The beam of light hits her in the back and knocks her to the ground. She rises up from the floor smoking and starts to skitter away. One last look at you, Sterling, hissing and spitting in your direction. She is going to escape through the front door. To pursue her would be to leave the monastery.
I want to run to the door, and as I run, I use prestidigitation as a last-ditch effort to create an image of the Black Lotus in my hand. And I'm going to run to the door, and I'm going to yell into the darkness outside. Although I may look old, I am not useless. Look what I stole from him before he left. And I hold it up, and hopefully it's framed in the door light or something. And if you want it, you'll have to come get me. And then he runs back inside, and he's just taken off inside the monastery for the farthest reaches. I have no idea if it's going to work. If she's already out of range, that's fine, but trying to do anything to keep her here.
She yells to you moments before you pass back through the doorway. Stop! She stands up in her elven form. I would like to know, does Asyndeton turn back towards her or continue through the doorway?
He'll skid to a stop and turn around. He'll hold his hands so it looks like he's trying to put them behind him to put himself between her and the lotus. But he has his hand in such a way that she can still see it as he's trying to hide it, in quotes.
I imagine Asyndeton standing at the doorway of the monastery looking at Starblood with his hands behind his back.
Mm-hmm.
Her voice messages in your mind and says, you may be old, but I can make you older. And you feel a spell begin to take place in your mind. I need you to save against 17, wisdom save against 17, or become blind.
My rolls have not been kind, and they are still not kind. I rolled a 2.
Asyndeton, your vision goes dark, and she laughs and says, no, old bard, we won. Her voice echoes into a distance, and you are left clouded vision, and the Black Lotus figure fades from your fingertips. The monastery is quiet. The monks stand up, patting themselves for wounds that they had unforeseen. The sergeant shakes his head and pounds his fist upon the stone pavement. He took it. They got it. And he points towards Sterling, running up to him, grabbing him by the cuff and said, you said you would keep it. You said this wouldn't happen. You failed! And he throws Sterling back.
Sterling is beside himself with grief. He agrees. He's got nothing to say. He's quite disheartened. This is the first time they've failed a mission. They've done everything they've set out to do. This is unusual. He just running through it in his mind, but he doesn't have anything to add to this. He just takes the words as they are and lets them sink in.
The younger monk speaks up. No, I saw them. They hurt the Lord Basile. He was injured. With bolts of lightning and she points to Hawkins' crossbow. You should have taken him down. He's a myth, he's a legend. He took it right out of your hands. Shut up. No. I wouldn't doubt if they were in league with him this whole time, and they used the corpse of Father Ragu to get what they wanted. For all we know, they could leave and meet up together in some happy place and take over everything, and we will be stuck in the Shadow Realm forever. The dark powers will certainly imprison our souls forever. No. It is over for the non-Quai. Hawkins, you notice Asyndeton walking back, his hands feeling in the distance, feeling in front of himself.
That was a good try. Everything came up short. I thought everything was going so well till the end.
Master Hawkins, I can't see.
She did that.
I fear so. But I heard the last comment from the monk. He faces in the rough direction of where that monk was. Didn't one of you mention that there are seeds somewhere? Is there still hope for you if we could help find those?
If we had Menusa, I don't know of anyone powerful enough to plant the seeds, even if we found them. You could search the Shadow Monastery. It doesn't matter. It will disappear whenever the moon changes. We will be gone. You will be left in your world. You have little time. Take whatever you want.
I am sorry.
I am too.
The younger monk walks over to you, Hawkins. You're shorter.
Yeah, that happens.
Do you know where your friend is?
He might be in the same place that Lord Basile went. It looks like Lord Basile can move between planes. I don't know how many planes he has a connection to, so with any luck, our friend's already got him wrestled to the ground and got the Lotus, and he's trying to figure out how to get back here, but I don't know for sure. I can only hope.
You think that Lord Basile would go to the same place he banished your friend?
I'm still in the middle of my research about plane shifting. I don't know if folks can just pick whatever plane they want to go to, or if they have to. I don't know. You've been plane shifting for a long time. You probably know more about it than I do.
Well, it's not voluntary. It happens only once in a while. And it's always back and forth between here and the Shadow World. But I would say that would be ironic if they were to meet up.
I know Vaughn would give him a piece of his mind. Probably a piece of his fist, too.
The night wears on. The non-Quai monks offer you respite for the little time they have left here in the monastery. Though the air feels cold and lifeless, like the body of Father Ragu. With no food, no drink, you can see that these are truly undead creatures. No life left of them. They're simply waiting to pass into the Shadow Realm. Only this, they will not proceed into the afterlife, but remain distant memories of the souls they once were.
As we are sort of sensing the end of the time that we have in the monastery, and I don't know, the moon's getting lower, the walls are fading, something along those lines, he'll say to the younger monk, his companion, he'll say, I won't forget about you guys. I certainly can't promise that we can do anything to help, but Lord Basile, who took that Lotus, we're going after him. And if we can get it back, and if we can help in some way, I think I'd like to be able to help y'all.
She looks at you. Would you have taken it?
I don't know. We would have talked.
I understand. Thank you for your sentiment. You should go. Stepping out into the sunrise, Sterling, you step ahead of your companions. Back on top of the mountain of the Regency Pass. Aramonte walks side by side with you, her petals drooping low and her vines dragging sidewinder fashions in the dust.
Sterling is comforting Aramente. He's a little bit beside himself, but he is, focusing on what he can do, which is just reminding Aramente of that Vaughn, his last effort in this plane was to throw her to the ones he trusted the most. And he's using his words. I know he's gone. He's not left you, and he put you with us. There's no safer place. As you can see, look, we just survived 2 high-level spellcasters. I mean, you saw how crazy they were, jumping around the place, and don't worry, we've got you back, and we'll make sure to get him back. And I don't
Sterling.
know. Yes,
Sterling, I'm not worried about Papa.
Oh.
I'm worried about you.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. I appreciate that. I'm gonna be okay. I really wish I could have put all this end of the road stuff behind me, and it seemed like today was a good chance to do it. But I'm more worried about Wanzarel and Plane. I mean, he's got the Lotus. I don't know what that means for us. But we'll do what we do. We'll keep going on. He's got a Lotus. He's got a dragon. He's got... we'll keep moving on.
She continues to walk with you. Asyndeton.
He has had to put his hand on somebody in front of him. And as he walks, tears are streaming down his face for the sight that he has lost. Not sure if he's going to be able to recover it. Every now and then, of course, he stumbles as an unexpected rock or something underfoot trips him up a little bit. Each time, though, he grabs on and tries to straighten back up, but he's getting more and more frustrated. And finally, he just stops and he thrusts his hands into his chest as hard as he can. And he yells straight up into the sky. I have tried so hard. And I cannot do this any longer. I am afraid that my vow must end. I am sorry, Lenore. So very sorry. And he drops to a knee and he shoulders shaking with sobbing so hard. He punches the ground as hard as he can.
And so for now, our story concludes. Oh, every story comes to an ending, so for now we must conclude. Thank you for listening, Sojourners. Your attention will not go unrewarded, and we look forward to continuing this adventure. If you enjoyed this background music and ambiance, you should visit Tabletop Audio. Find them at www.tabletopaudio.com. And if you enjoyed this podcast, share with a family or friend so that other Sojourners may find us along their path. Go to your favorite podcasting platform and leave a rating and review. But however you choose to sojourn with us, as always, may your story continue.
Your skill has never been greater.